As I watched this play out on TV, it didn't surprise me, because we had a trial run here in Michigan on April 30th in our state capital of people who came into the Senate building, people who came into the gallery fully armed and threatened us. There was a photo that went viral, 4 men heavily armed in the gallery. I was right below that photo, on the floor.
This is what democracy looks like! This is what democracy looks like!
I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal.
It was unprovoked, but this is what Russian President Vladimir Putin unleashed on Ukraine.
I can't imagine parenting, teaching, or running a school district in the last 2 years. It has to have been an incredibly difficult process.
By investing in our public schools and working together, we all win. Our kids will be stronger, which will lead to stronger communities and a stronger America.
I've been the statewide coordinator for the Michigan Election Reform Alliance. Our very top goal was to have a right to vote in Michigan. It's not in our state constitution.
Promote the Vote is back in 2022. Because there are people out there who are looking really hard at how to get around the rules. They know how to do this. They've got their own petitions. They run the legislature. They know how to do this. What we need to do is get 425,059 valid signatures by July 11th.
Me a great deal that we're going to, after 50 years, decide a woman does not have a right to choose within the limits of the Supreme Court decision in Casey.
I am angry because of who will pay the price for this. This will fall on the poorest women in our country. We are not going back. Not ever. No.
What are we doing? Why do you spend all this time running for the United States Senate? Why do you go through all the hassle of getting this job, of putting yourself in a position of authority? If your answer is that as this slaughter increases, as our kids run for their lives, we do nothing, why are you here if not to solve a problem as existential as this? This isn't inevitable. These kids weren't unlucky. What are we doing? Just days after a shooter walked into a grocery store to gun down African-American patrons, we have another Sandy Hook on our hands. What are we doing? There have been more mass shootings than days in the year.
Kids, not guns! Kids, not guns! Kids, not guns!
While this bill doesn't do everything I want, it does include actions I've long called for that are going to save lives. It funds crisis intervention, including red flag laws. It keeps guns out of the hands of people who are a danger to themselves and to others.
I, Ketanji Brown Jackson.
I, Ketanji Brown Jackson.
Do solemnly swear.
Do solemnly swear.
That I will administer justice.
That I will administer justice.
And that I will faithfully and impartially.
And that I will faithfully and impartially.
Discharge and perform.
Discharge and perform.
All the duties.
All the duties.
Incumbent upon me.
Incumbent upon me.
As an Associate Justice of the Supreme Court of the United States.
As an Associate Justice of the Supreme Court of the United States.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Those of you who walked up and down the streets of Milford, and I remember that day, it was cold, it was rainy, and talked to people in our community about voting rights and reproductive rights. Your collective power resulted in almost 800,000 signatures for repro rights, a record, and over 600,000 signatures for Promote the Vote.
Now we're not allowed to have contact with the water, and who knows when we will be able to again. And there is potential threat to the drinking water for those downstream, all because of negligence. Negligence on behalf of Tribar Technologies that has, for the second time in 4 years, released toxins into our waterways.
I am prepared to announce today that we are going to put the full weight and political power of Oakland County behind the effort to pass polluter pay laws here in Michigan.
Tell me what you think should be done.
Well, we need to reinstate the Polluter Pay Act.
We can channel all our resources. Most of all, we can channel the full talents of all our people into a greater measure of hope and opportunity for our nation and for the world. To create good jobs, empower workers, grow the economy, not just for the wealthy, but grow for everyone.
I'm not sure I've ever seen a situation where people who have already given so much had to fight so hard to get so little. And I hope we learn a lesson.
Thank you.
Never a guest.
I can't thank you enough for the work you do because, you know, this gubernatorial election and the elections for the state house and state senate is going to be won and lost in areas like the Huron Valley where it's going to be about the margins. And thank God for you guys and all the work that you did to pass Prop 2 in 2018, because the only reason that I'm standing here before you is because they ungerrymandered my district. For the first time in 20 years, West Bluefield has its own state representative.
We can do this for the first time in nearly 40 years. We can win the trifecta. It won't be easy, but Michiganders have never been the type to shy away from rolling up our sleeves and working hard for what we deserve.
Today is part of an extraordinary story that's being written by this administration and our brave allies in the Congress. This law that I'm about to sign finally delivers on a promise that Washington has made for decades to the American people. I got here as a 29-year-old kid. We were promising to make sure that Medicare would have the power to negotiate lower drug prices back then. Prescription drug prices. But guess what? We're giving Medicare the power to negotiate those prices now.
This is your first meeting or first time at Indivisible, please raise your hand. Great.
A new day in Lansing tomorrow. Both branches of the legislature will meet to elect new Democratic leadership since both houses have flipped.
Thank you, everybody. I am
so happy to be here with all of you.
While everybody was watching what was happening at the top of the ticket in Michigan last night, the real changes were happening down ballot. A combo of monster turnout for a midterm, abortion access, and the GOP ticket sinking like a stone has propelled the Democrats to power in both chambers of the legislature. And tomorrow, odds are State Senator Winnie Brinks from Grand Rapids becomes the first woman to be Senate Majority Leader. And the likely new House Speaker, the first African-American, State Representative Joe Tate from Detroit in the points.
While the GOP did make modest gains, the massive victory they predicted never materialized. This morning's headline said it best. The red wave was more like a pink splash. It's like what happens when you accidentally wash your Klan robes with your MAGA hat. Just a little pink. A pink wash.
CNN projects the Democratic Senator Raphael Warnock will win re-election in the Georgia Senate runoff.
Fundamental rights are interconnected, including the right to marry who you love, the right to access contraception, and the right to make decisions about your own body.
Today's a good day. A day America takes a vital step toward equality. Marriage is a simple proposition. Who do you love? And will you be loyal to that person you love? It's not more complicated than that.
Madam Speaker.
Nancy Pelosi, I extend to you this gavel.
There are no votes in the House, a majority vote for a wall.
She did.
Tonight we honor Denise Forrest and her incredible 34 years of contribution to the Huron Valley School District. Denise has been on the school board and serving the last 4 years, and it is a capstone to an incredible career in public education.
I appreciate those kind words, Mr. Carlson, and this I will cherish the rest of my life.